Yo, what's up everyone? It's Julian, and in this video, I'm gonna cut straight to the chase here. I'm gonna give you guys everything I've learned over the past few years when it comes to starting and building my online business. Now, before I do that, I do have to say that I'm gonna film this video a little bit differently than the way that I usually film my videos. And if you guys have seen my videos before, you know that I usually film everything in my studio over here with my big fancy filmmaking camera. But this video is not gonna be like that. I'm actually just gonna film this handheld, just me, you, and the camera, and that way things are a little bit more personal. I don't want to make this super cinematic and all cut up because I feel like it's a little bit disingenuous. And since this is a very personal topic and I'm going to be talking about my story and the journey I went through when it came to starting my online business, and then also obviously telling you guys the 3 major pitfalls that you need to avoid when it comes to starting your online business, and also some of the best tips that I've learned along this process. I want to shoot this in just one long go so that you guys can see that this is everything I've learned. It's just coming right off the top of my head, and nothing here is scripted. There's no big, long sales pitch or anything like that in here. This is just a video of pure value when it comes to building an online business online, and that's what I want this to be. So with that said, let's just cut straight to the chase here. Now, I do apologize. There might be some ums and uhs in this video because, again, this isn't scripted. This isn't some video that I spent months putting together. I'm just filming this right here, me and you. So with that said, one of the first things I want to say that when it comes to starting an online business is usually there are 2 types of people, and these are the 2 types of people that usually contact me. There's person number 1 that is either a freelancer, someone that has a service or a skill that they provide, and these people usually contact me and they ask me, hey Julian, how can I switch what I'm currently doing to an online program? And me personally, working as a filmmaker and a freelancer in the past, I completely get where they're coming from. And then I also have other people that have seen my journey along, the entire process for the past 2 or 3 years, and they just want to be able to work for themselves and be self-employed, right? So yeah, on the one hand, you have someone who's already self-employed and they want to switch things to online. And then on the other hand, you have people that are employed and they just want to become self-employed. And both of those are self-employed options. There's just a little bit of a difference with freelancers working for clients, whereas when you're working online, you get to work for yourself. So with that said, what are some of the best tips that I can give you when it comes to working for yourself? Now, one of the biggest things that when it comes to online business is that this has honestly been one of the most satisfying things that I've learned along this entire process is that marketing gives you control over your business. And this is something that I feel like a lot of freelancers don't have. They don't have that dial-like control to their income and their clients and how to get more work. Whereas when you learn how to market, you learn how to really control that dial and turn it up when you want more clients and more customers, and then turn it down when you want to slow things down a bit. But with that said, one of the first things that I would do when I'm starting online business is test your product idea, okay? I see so many people go out there, they think they have this amazing idea, and in reality, you don't really know until you've tested it. So how can you go test your product idea? Well, one of the best ways that I've found to go and actually test your product idea is to go inside of Facebook groups and actually go ask people what they need help with. And this is very helpful if you have a particular industry that you're passionate about. So for example, let's say, again, I'm a filmmaker and a photographer, right? And I want to see what other filmmakers and photographers need help with. So I could go to a filmmaking and photography Facebook group. I could go into that group and then I could ask those filmmakers and photographers, hey, what are some problems you need help with right now? What are you struggling with? And just based off of those questions alone, you can begin to figure out what problems people in your industry need solved. Now, that right there puts you in a very good position to become a person of value and someone who can enter this space now and provide value to other people. And when you can provide value to other people, that's when you can get paid. Now, in my case, I've loved doing online courses because it allows you to automate the delivery of value. So instead of doing a service for people and instead of manually having to go out there and spend your time helping people every single time, instead of providing that service, you just teach people the methods and your strategies to execute that service themselves. And since it's automated inside of a package of videos, you just do the work once and then you pretty much have a automated source of income. Now, to show you guys how this actually works logistically, I'll actually just open up my Facebook ads account and put a screenshot of that up on the screen where you can see that I know that right now I'm paying about $1 per lead. If we look at the last 30 days, you should see that I'm paying about $1 per lead. Now, if I go over to my email service provider, you can see that in the past 30 days, I got, I think, about 10 or 11,000 new email leads. So what that means is I'm paying about $1 per person to get their email address. Now, once I have their email address, I use automation to sell them. Now, down the line, once I have those 10,000 email addresses, those 10,000 email addresses have turned into about $30,000 of income for my business that month. So that's about $20,000 profit for my business this month. I spent $10,000 on ads, made $20,000 or $30,000 in return, $20,000 is profit. So essentially what I have is this automated system where I pay $1 on average to get someone in to my system in my sales funnel. And then as they go through my sales funnel, I average $3 back. And the great thing about this is that since I'm selling them an online course, I don't have to provide any work when they send me money. And this is very contrary to what most people do. Most people trade their time for money their entire lives. And if you're working a job, if you're working as a freelancer, you constantly have to provide every single time you want to earn money. Whereas in my case, I'm able to do work in advance, and this is what I call front loading. So I front load a lot of work. Creating courses definitely requires a lot of work, and I don't want to make this sound like it's easy, but what I do is I work, maybe a month or 2 months really hard. I create an online course. I'll film something right here inside of my studio that I showed you, and I'll break down an entire process and a method to something that I've learned, right? It could be filmmaking and photography like it was in my first course, or it could be online business like I'm doing now. And once I have all of that work done, for the next year, I don't really work. I just run advertisements. And when I know that my system is dialed in right, I know that I can wake up early every single morning and wake up to profits every single day because my system is automating all the sales for me. Now, again, I don't want to make this stuff sound like it's super, super easy because it does require a lot of work. Now, with that said, what I do like about this though, even though it isn't easy, is that it is data-driven. So if you look at most freelancers and most service providers or consultants, they are working for other people, and it's mainly on a word-of-mouth basis. I like to call this hope marketing, right? People just go out there and they hope that they're gonna get clients, and this is how I started as well. I started getting clients based on hope marketing. I would just kind of show up somewhere, maybe in a new city, go out there and be like, hey, I'm Julian, I'm a photographer, and I would just hope for the best. Come on, clients, hope. Yeah, and that was me. I would just kind of like hope. And I didn't really have any control. So what I like about having an online business is that there is a lot of control. And you're able to have that control because of data. So for example, if I can think of an example right now, let me see. If I can think of an example, I'll show it on the screen right now. Okay, I have the perfect example. I'm going to put an example up on the screen right now of the tracking software that I use to track every single advertising dollar that I spent. Now, with this tracking software, I'm going to put a screenshot up on the screen right now. You should be able to see a person that I'm going to go into their account right now, where you can see that I have been tracking every single step that they make on my website and on my sales funnel for the past 30 days or 2 months until they actually purchased my product. Now, this starts from the very first step, which is my actual advertisement, right? The actual ad that I ran, and the very last step is purchasing my product. Now, since I'm able to see this data and see where people come from and track every single purchase down to the exact ad that drove that purchase, I'm able to pinpoint exactly what's working in my business and then triple down on that. So, for example, when it comes to online courses, a lot of people market blindly, and this is something due to delayed attribution. So in simpler terms, Facebook doesn't really track purchases past 7 days. Now, when it comes to online courses, people usually take a while to think about it before they actually purchase. So rarely do you ever get proper tracking on your Facebook ads when you're selling online courses. E-commerce is a little bit different because people usually buy right away. Online courses people think about. So the data is all messed up for online courses. But if you use advanced data and tracking software like I do, you can pinpoint your ad's performance down to the exact ad that drove that purchase. Now, why is this important? Well, let's say you're spending, like me, at some points, $30,000 on ads in a month. Now, let's say you spend $30,000 on ads in a month. and you spend money on ads that aren't driving you profits. For example, let's say we have one ad over here that's earning you 75 cents for every dollar you put in. That means it's losing you 25 cents per dollar. You would turn that off because you know that that ad is not profitable. But then let's say you have another ad over here that's earning you $3 for every dollar you put in. You would increase the budget on that and shift the budget away from this ad towards this ad and then start scaling your business that way. And the only way you're able to do that is when you have proper data and tracking for your ads. And this is one of the major benefits of online business. It's very predictable and reliable, whereas word of mouth marketing and organic marketing is very inconsistent and unpredictable. This right here gives you that dial, right, to your business where you're like, hey, I want to get more clients, I'm going to turn this on. I would want less clients, I want to take a break for a little bit, I'm going to go on vacation, I want to turn this down a little bit, right? That is what marketing and data does for you. Now, what is another tip that I can give you? Well, another tip is that psychology plays a huge role in marketing. People are like, what does psychology have to do with anything? Well, this is something I'm going to tell you. So if you want to start building an online business, I would highly suggest that you start learning about psychology. Now, for example, let's say on a very basic concept, right? I'm going to give you guys a very basic example of this, how psychology plays a role inside of marketing. So we live in society, and we know that there's this general agreement between everyone that we live with. This is based off thousands of years of evolution, that we reciprocate, right? Somebody gives us something and we kind of owe them something. Even though if it isn't in paper or it isn't directly said that we owe them something, we feel obligated to give somebody something in return when they give us something for free, right? This is actually one of the laws in the 48 Laws of Power, where the author Robert Greene says, despise the free lunch. And the reason why he says despise the free lunch is because whenever someone takes you out and gives you a free lunch, they're doing it because they want something in return, and they now have a little bit of power over you because they have that free lunch they can hold over your head, right? And even though they might not say it directly, it's still something deep inside of you that you feel obligated to do because that's how society is hardwired, and that's why we still have names for people such as freeloader, leech, parasite, and all these horrible names for people that don't reciprocate. So there's a huge pressure in society to reciprocate. Now, this is why marketers don't just ask people for their email address, which is one of the number one things you need to focus on when you're starting your online course, is building up your email list. I know a lot of people think email is dead, but I'll tell you right now, I double my revenue with emails. I'll actually show you a screenshot of that right now, where you can see about 50% of my revenue comes from emails, okay? So I double my revenue because of emails. So this is why getting emails is important. Now, as a marketer, you don't want to just ask people for their email address because that isn't going to be very effective. So what we do is we offer people a free lead magnet, kind of like what I'm showing you right here, right? This free training video is a free lead magnet, right? Something of value that I give you in exchange for your email address. And now we're kind of even, right? We're kind of even. Now, I'm going to tell you a little secret. What people don't realize, even when it comes to this little minuscule interaction, this small exchange that we've made with an email address for a free video, is that this little tiny exchange sets the stage for us as business owners to ask for a slightly larger request the next time. And this right here reflects on the rule of consistency. The need for people to stay consistent with their previous behaviors and beliefs. So basically what that means is that if someone has given you their email address because they value what you've given them, they are going to continue to have to stay consistent with that belief that they now have, right? So what that basically means is that when you play this game of ping pong with people by giving and then asking and then giving and then asking again, that is how you can turn a tiny little negligible request for an email address into a purchase or a sale or a customer for hundreds or even thousands of dollars down the line. And this is basically how my automation system works. It does all of this on autopilot, right? I send traffic to my website using Facebook and Instagram ads. Then once people land on my website, I have all of this automation in place where people send me their email address. I have all these emails that get sent out on autopilot and all these different triggers going on. And basically, it builds this customer relationship on autopilot for me and incentivizes people to essentially either call me or purchase a product. And that is what you can do for your business as well when you learn how to market and build products online. And there really isn't any mystery to it. So for those of you guys that are wanting to get into online business and you feel like this is something like risky and mysterious, there isn't anything risky or mysterious about it. It's all data. And as long as you understand how to read the numbers, you can pinpoint exactly what doesn't work. And that's what I love about it. Okay, I don't like doing things that I think are risky and don't work. What I like about online business is that when something doesn't work, you can see, okay, people went to my landing page, they went from my landing page to my video, and then from my video to, let's say the checkout page, and then they disappeared, okay? What does that tell me? That tells me something's wrong with my checkout page. So then I can go there and start optimizing it, split testing different things. You can actually go in there and do split tests so that every new visitor sees something different. You can maybe create 4 different checkout pages, right? And the next 1,000 people that land on your checkout page see those 4 different checkout pages, and you can see, oh, number 3 is working the best. And then you use that checkout page. So it's very easy to optimize. And as long as you stay consistent and stay on it, it can be very, very lucrative. And this is how, I don't say this to brag, but this is how I've been able to build my business, Creators Training, from 2-3 years ago when I was freelancing, making $2,000 to $3,000 a month, to now making over $300,000 in 1 year on almost complete autopilot while I live here in Bali, with my girlfriend. We have this amazing villa. And again, I don't say this to brag, but it is a huge lifestyle change that's happened for me. And I just want to show people what's possible if you just decide to take the next step forward and take a little bit of action. Because you know what they say, if you always do what you've always done, you will get what you've always got. And this is something that I realized when I was actually in college a few years ago. I was sitting in class and kind of looked around and I was like, everyone here is doing the same exact thing, doing the same degree, going to get the same education, we're going to go to the same school, and I'm going to graduate with, I think, about 4 million students every year graduate from college. I was like, how is that going to make me unique and give me any type of advantage in life? So once I realized that, it was pretty much not going to make me any different. It was actually going to set me up for being average. That's when I decided to drop out and try something different. Now, I'm going to jump into my story a little bit over here because I think it is important for you guys to learn how I actually learned everything in here, because it wasn't just an overnight thing that happened. Now, basically what happened was I went and traveled the world, did my freelancing thing, started getting clients as a filmmaker and a photographer. It was an awesome lifestyle. Don't regret a single day. It was fucking amazing. I got to travel to so many different countries, and I was hungry, right? I was ambitious. I was out there, I was shooting, I was working, I was busting my ass, and I got to travel the world, and that's what I wanted to do at that particular moment. I was like 18, 19 years old, so it was amazing for that period of time. Now I'm 24 years old, okay? So at a certain point, I had to think about, okay, is this gonna be able to sustain me and a family and, my activities that I wanna do and obviously goals that I wanna achieve? And I realized it wasn't. Freelancing is a very limiting form of income, constantly having to trade my time for money, and I was running out of time, right? My days and weeks were packed, and I was barely making enough money. So I realized I needed to do something that was a little bit more consistent. So that's when I started getting to online business. And I did that while traveling a little bit as well. I did drop shipping and tried a few different things, selling digital products like, presets. And it was pretty profitable. Actually, I remember the first month I launched my presets, I made, I think, $60,000 in 2 months selling Lightroom presets, which was awesome. But it also was pretty difficult because you had to sell massive volumes. I was selling presets for about $7. So I think, I sold 10,000 different preset packs. And at a certain point, you reach saturation. So you really can't sell anymore. And I know people are still selling presets now. I know it's a little bit of oversaturated market. So I decided to get into something different, like online courses, because they're sold at a higher price point. They're a lot more profitable. And the online course industry is booming right now. I actually just saw an article on Forbes that says that the online course industry is going to 4x in the next 5 years, I believe, and going to be a $300 and something billion industry. And in case you guys didn't know, that is massive. That is massive. And 4x growth in 5 years is insane. So basically what that means is that online courses are like the internet gold rush right now. So that is why I decided to get into online courses. And I noticed this trend picking up as well. And for those of you guys who are like, oh, is it too late to do online courses? Absolutely not. I still know tons of people now that are starting online courses. super, super profitable. And one of the guys that actually taught me about this entire process just set up another online course like 6 months ago, and he's doing, again, $3,000 a day with his new course. Now, this guy, actually, I want to bring the story back down to when I started my online course. So when I started my online course, I was showing people how to do filmmaking and photography, and then also showing filmmakers and photographers how to, sell presets online with the experience I had from drop shipping. And everything was going really well. I think I, again, coincidentally also made like $60,000 the first 2 months with my new online course. Now, what the problem was that after my second month, okay, so I launched and I was like, okay, $60,000, month 2, let's go. This is gonna be easy, right? No. Wasn't like that at all. It was like that for 2 months, but at the second month, I was spending about $1,000 a day on ads, and then I started losing money every single day. And I was like, whoa. What's going on here, right? And at that exact week that my profits started going down, I got an email from this guy named Jesse. Now, I'm not sure if he wants me to talk about him. He's kind of like behind the scenes, so I'll keep his information personal. But this guy, Jesse, has launched multiple online courses. Some of you guys may actually know who he is by me just mentioning his first name. And this guy reached out to me, and he thought I had one of the best ads he'd ever seen online. Now, this is something I had an advantage of when I was starting my online course because I was a filmmaker, okay? So I had the advantage of knowing how to put really good videos together. So he reached out to me and he was like, hey, Julian, I saw your ad. It's one of the best ads I've ever seen. I want you to come over to see if there's anything we can do together. So I went over to his place. I actually saw his website, and the second I saw his website, I was like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. The company I'd heard of before, and I think they do about $10 or $20 million a year in online course sales. So I went over to his place, and we came to an agreement pretty quickly. He was like, I'll teach you everything that I know about setting up online courses, and then you help me create some videos for the new online course that I'm launching. So obviously I was like, yes, let's do this. You obviously know what you're doing. I don't know many people that are able to produce $10 to $20 million per year selling online courses. And I right now am struggling to launch my online course. So we ended up working together for about 6 months. And this was I would say more of a partnership than a mentorship. I'm not really a fan of the word mentor, actually. I prefer coaching. I think mentor that's something you just have with someone. It's not a paid thing. It's just something that you do. It's like a father-son type of thing. Anyways, I'm going off track. So we worked together because me as a filmmaker and a photographer, I had really good design and branding. And that is why I was able to be so profitable from the start, right? It's pretty rare. You don't actually see a lot of people that are able to make $60,000 their first 2 months, just right off the bat and get so many customers. But it's because I had really good design and branding. But the reason why it wasn't consistent was because I didn't have the marketing and the data and the automation down. So that's what he taught me. And then I combined it with everything that I knew about design and branding. And if you guys have been to my website, you've seen my videos, you guys know that that's my passion. I really love that stuff. So now combine that with what I've learned about automation and what I currently have with design and branding is a whole new system that I didn't really see a lot of people do. I see most people out there selling online courses using super scammy ClickFunnels pages, terrible design. And I was like, hey, I can give myself an advantage by having amazing design, by having amazing advertisements, and then also on top of it, having all of the automation and the marketing strategies in place that the best of the best have. So that is what me and Jesse did over the next, I think 3 or 4 months that we worked together. And by the end of that, third or fourth month, my business went from, losing money every day back up to making $20,000 to $40,000 per month in profit. And that was last year. It's been about another year since then. And it's been consistent for an entire year. And for this past year, a lot of people have reached out to me and they're like, hey, Julian, we love your website. How did you start your online course? How did you do this? And that's why I'm making this video for you guys here right now. And again, I don't say this stuff to brag, but I'm just telling you my story and where I started because I know a lot of people out there are doubting themselves and they think that I think in society, most people think that $2,000 or $3,000 a month is okay income. Even my little sister texted me this morning. She's like, Julian, can you employ me? And she's going to college right now. And I'm like, Jordan, like, you're going to college. I keep telling her she needs to start her own business because you can make way more money. And now it's funny because she's the college student. And when I was starting my online business, she was laughing at me. She was like, oh, Julian, you don't know what you're doing. And now my sister, the college student, is going to the dropout, me, the dropout in the family, and asking me for a job because I make more money than every single person in my family member. So that kind of says a lot. And I just want to make this video so that you guys know you don't have to go down the traditional route. You don't have to go to college. You don't have to do what your parents say or what your friends say. There are a lot more options out there, like starting an online business, and it's real. You can do it, but you just need to make sure you follow the right steps. Make sure you have a framework going on, and you look at the data, and just stay consistent, okay? This wasn't easy, didn't happen overnight for me, but because this can be so problematic for people and people don't know where to start, that is why I decided to pretty much allow people to copy my entire business. Now, I'm gonna put the camera down over here real quick. The sunset over here is actually really, really nice. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's really nice. So basically, for the past year, I've built my online business, Creators Training, from scratch, me knowing absolutely nothing about online business to the point where it is now making me like 20 to 40 grand per month. And through this entire process, I've had a lot of people reach out to me, first of all, because people like my ads, they like my designs, they like, all the systems that I have set up, people like my copywriting and everything that I have in my emails, and they want to learn how to do this for themselves. Now, if you are a freelancer, someone that wants to transition from providing a service manually to like automating this with an online course, or if you're someone that doesn't even know what value they can provide it and you're like, hey, I need to figure out how I can help people out. I created a brand new program that solves that exact problem. And I've done online courses before, and what I realized is that most people struggle with things like the sales, the technical stuff, right? That stuff is so time consuming, and people just want to spend time creating the product, okay? So my first course helped people create the product and then set up all the technical stuff. And what I realized is that people were getting lost in everything else, right? People just want to create their product and sell it. So what I did is I pretty much templated my entire website, Creators Training, and I'm not going to go into all the details, but building this website that you see right here took me about 8 months. I built this from scratch. It's custom. Everything's custom designed by me. It's lightning fast, completely optimized for sales and conversions. It's also designed very well, branded very well, and all the back-end tracking and automation works together seamlessly. And this is something that I'm telling you guys, if you have not started to set up your online business yet, I actually just had a sales call with another client earlier today, and he was telling me he was paying $500 for a system for his online course that wasn't even working well. And I was like, yo, my system is $100 and it works 10 times better. He's not even able to get that same level of data and analytics and tracking that I showed you earlier in this video. So that is all stuff that you're gonna have a long and hard time figuring out yourself if you don't know what to look for. So what I did is I basically created this new program where I'm allowing people to, I templated my entire website. So what you see on Creators Training, what you see is what you get. So you get to pretty much download Creators Training, and then I got every single plugin that I use for all my tracking and my data, and just copy and paste, right? So I'm like, yo, download this plugin. I made a video, shot and edited a lot better than this. It's actually in my studio, looks really nice, professional. And I pretty much tell people, download this list of exact plugins. And then once you have this exact list of plugins downloaded, I provide a screenshot of my actual settings to the plugins. And I'm like, copy and paste this, okay? And then when it comes to the automations, all you do is click one button, and this is the exact same automation that I still use to sell all of my products. Once you import the automation, I literally provide templates to sell your product. And this is one of the number one problems people have, is actually selling their product. So what I did is I worked with a copywriter. We made some of the best templates I've ever seen for actually, these aren't like bullshit templates. These are like really well thought out templates with instructions. It is gonna require a little bit of brain power to put together. It's not just like fill in the blank, but it's as close to fill in the blank as you can get. And it's gonna give you crystal clear direction on what to write, how to write it, and how to make sure you can actually persuade people to buy your program. Now, if you're watching this and you're like, I don't know what kind of program I would even create, I even included an entire section that shows you how to actually find your winning product idea, how to go out in the market, how to test it, and how to actually make a little bit of money before you create your online program so that you have money to invest into advertisements. So there's very low startup cost and risk involved for anyone who's starting this. And you know that once you invest more time into this, you actually are spending time on a program that's actually profitable. Now, I don't want to jump into the technical stuff too much because I know a lot of people don't care about that. But basically what I wanted to tell you guys is that everything I've learned over the past year is something that I've put together in this new program, the Course Creator Accelerator program, and I'm opening up access to this program right now. It's going to teach you guys everything from the copywriting to the Facebook ads, the sales, the marketing, the design, even stuff that you will never find in other courses. I teach you in this course because I care about the details. Okay, so if you guys want to get access to this program, I'll put a link down below this video for you guys to book a call. The reason why I'm booking calls for this program is because this isn't just a program that I'm going to allow access to for everyone on the internet. I do really want to make sure that the people who sign up for this program have value to provide. You know your market, or if you don't know your market yet and you're trying to figure out your product idea and you have the right head on your shoulders, that is what I want to make sure before you sign up for this program, because everything I provide in this program, all the tools and all the templates, this is stuff that it was really hard for me to give away. I mean, I spent 1.5 years building this business with my own bare 2 hands. I spent over 8 hours a day locked up in my room, no social life, no partying, no drinking, no nothing, just to build this. And because so many people kept asking me to help them with this, I finally decided to release a program that not only teaches you how to do it, but pretty much it already does everything for you. You don't have to worry about the website. You don't have to worry about the sales. You don't have to worry about the marketing. I literally just tell you, create your product, insert it here, turn on these ads the way that I show you how to do them in here, and everything just works. Okay? It works for me. It works for other people. I'll put on some testimonials up on the screen right here so you guys can see that it hasn't worked for just me. It's worked for other people as well. And with that said, I hope you guys got some value out of this video. Even if you don't decide to sign up for the program, make sure you study human psychology, learn a little bit about marketing, and if you're thinking about online business, I would highly suggest just taking the next step forward and giving this a shot. If you guys do want to sign up for a program that kind of like provides you with all the done-for-you services like I do, where you don't have to worry about the website, you don't have to worry about the sales and marketing, you just kind of like do your thing. Keep doing what you're doing. If you're a freelancer, you literally just do what you're doing and you will grow your income exponentially while I provide everything else. And if that is something you want to do, check out the program. Again, no pressure. It's just something that I want to mention and throw out there because I think that this can help a lot of people out. So with that said, that is pretty much the end of this video. Hopefully you guys got a little bit of a better picture of how all of this stuff works. I'm going to send you 3 more videos over the next few weeks. I'm going to show you the actual way to go find your winning product idea. I'm going to show you my Facebook ads targeting, and then I'm also going to give you a demo of the entire program so you guys can see what's inside. And if you do want to move forward with this, again, click the button below, book a call with us. We can get you started and help you set everything up. And also what that provides, I forgot to mention, this is a huge bonus as well, actual coaching with me and all the high-level people on my team. So, as you're building out your program and your product, you're going to be in a Slack group with me and other people inside of the Accelerator program, and I'm going to be there every single week to help you along with this entire process to get your program built out. So this isn't just like some type of program that you build and you're kind of like on your own after we do business together. No, I'm actually here and I help you along with the entire process, and that's why I do these calls to make sure that you're actually qualified to work with me, because I don't want to work with people that, are going to cause a bunch of problems. So I want to make sure I have the right clientele. If you think that this is the right fit for you, I would highly recommend clicking the button below, booking a call. It's free, no charge required. If you're interested, cool, we'll work together. If it's not a good fit, no worries. So with that said, again, you guys have a good day. I'll see you guys in the next video.